here's so much text, I didn't have enough time to learn it. Camera is ready. 5, 4, 3. Wait, I'm not ready yet. Not ready yet. Fired. Lisa number 9 on the set. Anyone else wants to say something? No, not at all. Today I've decided to share some of my experience with you, and looking forward I want to say that things that I'm gonna share are more like my observations. They worked in my case, but may not work in yours. Also, I would like to answer to those people who will tell that, oh, she got her followers because of her content. Guys, there are thousands of Instagram models, photographers, and other talented people that are staying in shadow no matter what kind of beauty or talent they have. So getting mass attention is not so easy as many people can think. So let's go back to the topic. How I got 100,000 of followers in 4 months. I've uploaded my first photo on Instagram on 25th of May 2018 and I reached 100,000 of followers on 24th of September. I don't know if it's really fast growth because I think it depends on the niche you are working on. I would like to separate this video on 2 parts. The first one will be about things that will not help you to grow, and the second part about things that will be useful. When I just started my Instagram, I've read so many articles about growth and watched so many videos about it. There are really tons of information on internet because this is the topic everyone wants to know about. Most often I found some articles like 10 tips how to grow your Instagram. Most of them have the same sense, the same tips, and probably were made not for usefulness but for hype. Almost in every such a list there are tips like everyday motivation is the key to success. Post your content regularly and people will like this. Try to improve your skills and your followers will notice it. And yes, all these things are true, but how they will really help you? I mean, such advices are totally obvious. It's like, don't forget to drink water when you are thirsty, or don't forget to wake up early because you will get late to work. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that such things are pretty obvious and there is no secret in it. Motivation is really very important, and this is the force that makes us to wake up early and go to the photo shoot on a very rainy day. But there is no secret in it at all. So I think all these lists are pretty useless. And when I was looking for advices, for some guides, I expected to find some real story about real success. But as I understood, such stories are really rare. So the first thing I want to say that when you're starting working on your social media, be careful with tons of information that can little your brain. There is nothing bad in searching for information, but don't underestimate yourself. Social media is not a quantum physics, so in most cases you will find all answers without helping of gurus. Just turn on your logic and everything will work. The second thing I want to talk about is different services that will help you to grow. I will not even talk about fake followers because this is total cheating and way to nowhere. But what about other different organic growth services? I've seen a lot of promotion of such services and I've read a lot of reviews about them. Their work is based on mass following and you need to give them a password from Instagram to make it work. There are many of different reviews about such services, from bad ones where people say that their accounts were banned because of such services, to good ones when people said good things, that such services helped them to grow few thousands or few hundreds. Of course, it depends on company that gives such service, but I think that the risk is too high because you give them your password. And I didn't have such experience with these services because of this reason. But if you will decide to try such services, do not forget to find as much information about them as you only can and try to find reviews on different resources. Also, on my opinion, you need to understand that such services work only on the very beginning, because the more you grow your audience, the higher is the risk to get banned because of this. The next tip of Instagram growth is targeting promotion on Instagram through Facebook. You will need for this to have a business account. It is a very funny paradox that it wasn't easy for me to use this service because I was unlucky in my experience. I was able to request such service, such targeting promotion, only 2 times, and after each time my Facebook page was blocked. Without no reason, without no explanation, just for nothing. And of course, I got no answer from Facebook why it is happening. Maybe they just don't need my money. And again, this is my personal experience with Facebook. You may have different one and I hope more successful. But I've read a lot of complaints of other people that have the same problems as me. So, Mark Zuckerberg, if you are watching me now, you need to know that someone in your company doesn't want to earn more money. The next thing I want to say rather will be about how careful and wise you need to be in this digital world. When I just had a few thousands of followers, I noticed that many small brands of clothes or jewelry write me and offer me to become their ambassador. I had a face like this. Really, guys, I miss no one from nowhere. Are you sure in your choice? And they were sure, and lately I understood why. The tactic is working pretty easy. Some non-famous small brands find small bloggers with small audience and offer them to collaborate. Seems like a good start, right? I was thinking the same. When you are agree for this collaboration, those brands ask you to choose one item from a limited number of items, and they say that they will send them for free, but you need to pay for delivery. At this moment, you are sitting and thinking like, oh my god, I will have my first free items. I will have a status of ambassador, and this is all for $19. Shut up and take my money. Then, in a month or more, you'll receive a package from China with item you choose. It will be low or average quality, and in addition to this, you'll receive your broken ambitions. And then you are going to internet and without any troubles find the same item on some Chinese store, but cheaper in few times. So now you are a happy owner of a swimsuit, for example, that you will never wear, and some guys got your delivery payment and your photos in their clothes for promotion. Such brands seems to sell their items to ambassadors directly, and they seem to earn pretty good money on this. Often I noticed that some of such brands use pictures from official sites of world famous brands like Ohpole, for example. Of course, that doesn't mean that there are no honest small brands that are really looking for models that will represent them. Of course, they exist. Just do not forget to find as much information about companies or brands you are going to work with. The good way to check is to try Google search on photos of such brands, and in pretty many cases you'll be pretty surprised. I hope you will not be in depression after watching my video, because it is time to talk about positive things. So what things will work to help you to grow? The first one is very simple, pretty obvious, and yes, it will take some resources from you. But as any other business, you can't earn before you will invest in the project. Promotion on pages of other creators that are working in the same niche as you will help you to grow a lot. Of course, I don't open the secret truth with this advice, but I think that it is pretty important to choose the right page for promotion. For example, I've got much more followers from paid promotion on a page with 450,000 of followers than on 2 millions page. Both pages had an excellent engagement and both pages were models like me, but the first model with smaller amount of audience, she had very similar body shape and her audience was interested to go and check my account. Comparing to other model who had 2 million followers, she had totally different style of photos and different body shape, and I've got from this promotion 3 times less, just because her audience didn't have interest. And of course, the promotion on smaller account was much cheaper than on 2 million ones. So turn your attention on small details when you are choosing the page for paid promotion. Shoutout for shoutout is also a great way to grow your audience. The nicest thing about this is the more your audience grow, the more creators will offer you to make shoutout for shoutout. It's like a rolling snowball from the hill. The first steps are always the hardest. And at the beginning, I often thought that my content is not interesting to anyone, but the harder I worked, the better result I've got. When you already have some audience to share, other creators will be interested in you. Just do not forget about some limits in Insta stories, because it is pretty annoying when you want to watch Insta story of a person you are interested in and you see there 25 of shoutouts of other people. That's pretty annoying. Also, it is very important to promote yourself in all social media that you have, and it is also very important to prioritize your activity in all your social media. Most of time when you are starting such projects, you need to combine them with your real-time job, and it is pretty difficult, and at the beginning you usually have very limited resources. For me it was and is still very difficult to combine everything, and at the same time, I want to create a bit different content on my YouTube and on Instagram. But you always need to sacrifice something in the sake of future. I know that my Instagram is growing faster than my YouTube, and at the same time, my Instagram is the key to my YouTube, so that is why posts on my IG are more regular and videos on my YouTube are not, because I don't have much time, and at the same time I have a plan for shooting videos on nearest few months. Summing up, I can say that sometimes the most obvious and simplest way is the best. Nowadays there are tons of courses, trainings and coaches of social media success. But be very careful before you will agree on this, because it will be very pity if the secret knowledge will be in everyday motivation or in a good quality of photos. All such answers very obvious in most cases and are lying on the top. And what is under you will understand only, you will gain your personal unique experience. So keep working and make your content great. I hope my video was useful for you. Hit a like if you enjoyed it. It will help me to grow my YouTube, and maybe with time it will be my first priority. Wish you all the best. See you soon.